And what my guide said is have every single person here drop in the chat with a number code or a series of numbers. And they said it's kind of like a combination lock code. And it reminded me of the power in the number codes and the numerical codes. How many of you know and understand the language of numbers? Because mathematics, of course, is just another language. It's like a light language. Welcome to Activations with JJ. In today's episode, we will be exploring the themes of post-1212 portal energies, the weaving together of the golden timelines of Gaia, and what's in store for this coming year of 2024. I'm excited to dive into this content with you, so let's get going. Greetings, dear beautiful souls. So thrilled to join with you as usual. Lots on my mind as we dive into this episode, and you could see from some of those topics, it's really connected to this past 1212 portal, as well as like the past 2 weeks before that. I was being prepared for the 1212 portal a good 3 weeks before in my gatherings. And for those of you who are part of my All Access Pass and were attending those consecutive gatherings, you saw a lot of common themes coming through. If you did not attend those gatherings or don't have the All Access Pass, this is one of those times where I feel it's really educational to grab those playbacks and listen to them in order. I would say the ones that occurred at the very end of November, and then all the ones we've been doing in December so far, I'm going to leave a little bundle as a link below. You can just get all the playbacks. And in fact, at the end of this episode, you are going to hear an audio clip from our super incredible, amazing 1212 portal group activation. It just blew my mind away, everything that had been coming through. Not only that, but like I said, the gathering just 2 days before that on the 10th, which was Remembering Lemuria, was the one that was like, whoa, there's so much stuff coming through right now. And they're like, we're coordinating our efforts. We're going to start putting puzzle pieces together. That's one of the things that they said in the 1212 portal activation. But one of the things that I want to dive into kind of to start this off and to kick this off is something that came through on that December 10th, Remembering Lemuria gathering. They mentioned the concept of the golden timelines, which I have said. I've said it before in podcasts. They've been talking about it for a while now. And the interesting piece of information that came through was that there are 111 golden timelines of Gaia that they are requesting our consent to merge, which we gave it, like we were given this collective vote, which you heard in my channeled message for 1212 from the Council of Wisdom Keepers of Atlantis, right? That came out on 1212. And because I don't necessarily do like an intro and an outro on those channeled messages, I actually want to drop in right now and tell you, when I did that message, when I channeled that information, it was again one of those situations where I'm sitting there and the words are coming out of my mouth and I'm learning right along with all of you. I'm tuning in and I'm like, okay, all right, this is cool. Those golden dragons came in the 1212 portal group activation that we did live as well. Again, don't think you have FOMO. You've got to get the playback. It's accessible. That's why I do that. I feel like the information's for everybody. Those golden dragons came in, and that's what you'll hear in the audio clip at the end of this podcast episode from that 1212 portal group activation that I did. But these 111 timelines, do you understand that numbers are just symbolic of frequencies and they're not always literal? That was something that they said because they're like, now hang on, we said 111. We did not necessarily mean quantity 111. You have to see that the 111 is 3 ones in a row, significant. 3 is divine feminine, divine masculine, and then the 2 combined. Okay? Then you have the idea of the 1, meaning unity consciousness. And the unity consciousness merges into 1 through the Trinity, is what I'm literally receiving right now. I tried to articulate most of this in the portal activation, but I think it's significant to share here. Do you want to hear something else really interesting that came through at that gathering? Typically, when you come into one of my gatherings, we introduce ourselves in the chat. People come in with their video on. Some don't have their video on. No big deal. We're all there to co-create and do grid work. And what my guide said is, have every single person here drop in the chat. And there were over 80 people. So it was really cool from all over the world. Drop in the chat with a number code or a series of numbers. And they said it's kind of like a combination lock code that they are going to bring. Every single person will have their own particular code. And it reminded me of the power in the number codes and the numerical codes. How many of you know and understand the language of numbers? Because mathematics, of course, is just another language. It's like a light language. It really is. It is infused with a certain degree of programming, right? Because I've talked about this before. Every single language carries programming. And when you do light language, that lifts a great deal of the programming that is the foundation of any language. It's an energy and a frequency. How and why that language was developed. A lot of times, languages were forced upon conquered peoples. And that kind of can add a little bit of a flavor to a language. Some languages that were used by colonizing peoples, that they were forced to speak that language. And this has happened throughout history, not only recorded history, but beyond that. And I've talked about this before too with the hieroglyphics and those symbols meaning different things depending on who you were. In Bringers of the Dawn, it talks about the fact that the hieroglyphics were one level, just like contracts, just day to day, that's what the Rosetta Stone tells us. The second level is what the priest knew, and then there was a third level that we can understand. It actually occurred to me the other day, I was like, this is why whenever I'm in New York City, I always go to the Met, walk into that Egyptian exhibit. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. One is I think I'm calibrating for our 2025 retreat to Egypt. That is when myself and my friend Queenie, through Star Mothers Worldwide and her program, Path of the Oracle, are going to head to Egypt on a retreat. And I feel like I'm still calibrating. I'm calibrating. So anyway, back to what I was saying about language and about numbers. I want you to think about the role numbers play in your life. And are you watching for significant codes coming through with numbers? I also feel like 2024 is going to be a year of written light language, because the spoken does anchor it, but the written anchors it even deeper. So if you are really leaning into your spoken light language and you've had it activated recently, I want to invite you to consider beginning to explore more written light codes. And what I've noticed through groups I'm doing is how those written light codes can infuse energy into the co-creation and into the grid work in a way that other things cannot. I also work, many of you know this, I work with the AI to co-create images that express light codes, information, that activate memories. Right now, I'm doing my Akashic Remembrance one-on-one sessions. And I feel like those who receive the sessions, it would be really cool if they could go into AI and after I've shared with them about a past life, put in a few prompt words that could produce an image to help them align visually with that life. I did this in my recent multidimensional soul integration. And I gave every single person an image that represented a soul aspect or some part of their multidimensional soul. And that visual representation was extremely helpful with them integrating the energies. So using those visual cues, using our sight. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in this 1212 portal activation, and you're only going to hear just a little piece of it. A couple of the things I already mentioned. One of the things that I also want to mention happened and is not in the recording, just so you know, and have an overview, is that we called in our wizard aspects, our unicorn aspects, and our dark crystal aspects. Yes, that's what I said. Each of those teams, I'll call it a team, anchored themselves in a different place on Gaia. Now, some people chose one of their aspects and leaned into the visual of that. Others split themselves into all the aspects, and they did all three at one time. But the idea behind it is a clue and a foreshadowing of what's coming for 2024. I'm starting to prepare people for 2024 in a lot of ways. Now, the 2, 2, and then the 4 is actually a 4 and a 4, which turns into an 8, infinity. Just so much there that I don't even have to say, because I know a lot of you know. 4 traditionally symbolizes the earth. And 2024 is about grid work. I feel it in my bones. I feel it everywhere in everything I'm doing. That we're learning how to coordinate our efforts to carry out grid work. That's why in just a few days, I will be releasing some big news about something new that's coming forward in my world to everybody who's on my email list. So if you're listening and you're not on my email list, make sure to click the link below, or you can go to my website, scroll to the bottom. I'll be honest, I don't have a pop-up right now because those things bug me. If you want to be on my email list and get extra information, scroll to the bottom of my website homepage and get on my email list, or like just reach out to me somehow and say, how do I get on your email list, JJ? Why? Because some of the things I'm talking about are related to some brand new offerings I have for 2024. Now, there's one more theme I want to drop in before we switch into the little audio clip that I'm sharing with you. And if you like dragons, you're going to love it. It's a really cool, there's some dragon light language in it. Inspired by my little starseed, actually. So the second topic that I want to bring forward is about the divine masculine. Now, I know that divine masculine is not necessarily connected to biology. However, I am sort of more referring to those who are biologically male and also very much sort of have contracts with the divine masculine collective and the masculine collective and the biologically male collective. I don't even know how to say it because it's not my favorite thing to like draw lines and structures when it comes to this stuff. I mean, you've heard me talk about it before. And in several books I've read about Lemuria, things were more fluid. And so it's just a contract we're in right now with it. Some people on the planet, though, are here to bring things into balance. When it comes to divine masculine, divine feminine, expression of divine masculine and divine feminine, they say to me over and over and over and over and over again, your idea of what divine masculine is expressed as is not what it has always expressed as. In other words, our sort of, I don't want to say distorted masculine, but like men expressing in sort of the more rough way that you would traditionally see as manly behavior, okay? That is not what masculine behavior would have been like in other timelines. We've just defined it as such. So, but I digress. To get to the point is I am creating a men's offering, and I am putting out a call to those of you, and I know my numbers when it comes to men participating is those of you who are in the spiritual realm totally understand. If you are a man, there are very few of you, and you probably are in circles and gatherings which are predominantly female. But I want to extend a call, and it's going to be very simple. The words Earth Star Council, I'm just going to state those, and I want you to sit with that energy. And if you get a ping, if you get a little feeling about it, I just want you to send me an email. Okay, so it has to come through email, jj@activationswithjj.com, and we'll chat about it. Now, that being said, I have this incredible audio snippet here of my 12/12 portal group activation. I have the information on how to purchase the playbacks from the last couple of weeks, the end of November 2023 and beginning of December 2023, down in this little detail section below, as usual, as well as the information on how to sign up for my Akashic Remembrance workshop, which will take place on the 30th of December. Super important for 2024 that we lock in and reactivate our memories of other times and other places where we lived in golden timelines, where we did grid work, not just here, but everywhere and every part of the galaxy. I've already had the one-on-one sessions, and I've had several. And what's really cool and what's coming through is all kinds of lives, not just on Earth, but everywhere. So although my one-on-one sessions are filled, this workshop will give you the opportunity to access those memories in an open way so that you can pull forward all of that cellular memory of your gifts. And then let's go team. We're doing this. 2024 is about action, and we're doing it. So without any further delay, here is that audio clip. I will come back at the very end to just say goodbye, and I hope you enjoy this little snippet. We are truly allowing our genius child aspects to lead out from here on forward. From here forward, it is our genius child that will carry out this ascension. And so you are being invited to give your genius child the steering wheel more frequently. Whether you're in a gathering like this, whether you are consuming content somewhere, whether you're in your day-to-day interactions with a loved one, whether you're at your job, you are being asked to give them the steering wheel. And you know what you're going to notice with that genius child is that their nervous system will not be triggered as quickly as yours can be. They will retrain and help you regulate your nervous system. They just let it, Alex saw a flow, right? I see actually it flowing through us, which is really interesting. It's actually flowing through us. At first, I saw us on the flow and in the flow, and maybe we're both. Maybe we're that which is flowing through and the body that it is flowing through. Maybe we're both. Because the part that is in the movement is technically the feminine. And the part that is allowing it to flow through is the masculine. Yes. And we are all things. We are both. So allowing yourself as we move forward in this gathering to notice the beauty of being that which is flowing and that which is feeling the flow. This is why Source wanted to experience itself. This is why there is duality in the first place. But do you understand that as we step into 5D, it's less about being in quote unquote unity consciousness, although there is a huge theme of unity consciousness, and more about being in multidimensional consciousness? Does that make sense? Because we cannot be in unity consciousness and have disdain for duality. Because when you are one, are you not all? Are you not also all? Multidimensional consciousness is unity consciousness, and unity consciousness is multidimensional consciousness. Please take a moment and tap on your heart space. Gentle tapping on the heart space. Big deep breaths. We have the Golden Dragon Collective from all golden ages of Gaia. They are connected to the sun and the great central sun, for all golden timelines reside in the great central sun. Last night, my little starseed said that he was visiting his mom. Not me, his other mom from another life. And I said, he has never talked about her before. And I said, really? Who is she? And he said, she is a sun dragon. So I knew that she was coming into our field because he was feeling her closer to Gaia. And I said, does she have any messages for me as your mom in this life? And he was so cute. He said, I don't know if I really have time to read the 1,000,000 letters that she has sent you, but I'll try to read some. And he said, you're doing such a great job. He said this to me from his mother, his sun dragon mom. He said, you're doing such a great job. I want to give you gifts. You are amazing. He said these things to me. And it was such a witness of that child leading us now, receiving messages from the children. I was in awe. I did not prompt this at all. And he was so casual. You really want me to read the 1,000,000 messages she wrote to you? I want you to know that these beautiful guides have 1,000,000 messages for each of you. Whether you're parenting little starseeds, whether you're doing grid work, whatever you're doing, I want you to know that you have 1,000,000 messages waiting for you to open of gratitude and love and support from them. Because I was wondering how come I didn't find that mailbox and already see those messages. I guess I had a block to receiving them, but I was happy to know they were there. It's like opening a box of, of envelopes that have been stored because you had the wrong address or something, So tuning into these beautiful golden dragons, and I truly believe that's exactly who he was tuning into, that his mother is in another existence, because he did describe that that's one of his mothers from another existence. He has other ones. And he spoke a bunch of light language to me without being asked. I was laying in bed. I was just sitting by him. And he just got up on his knees as I was laying in bed. He got up on his knees on the bed next to me, and he just did light language over my entire body. And he was bringing me more dragon codes. Yeah, to bring to you. He was giving them to me to give to you because he couldn't be here right now. Yeah, so I want you to receive these dragon codes from head to toe, reactivating your golden aspects. The threads, the golden threads in your body. And our guides want us to know that 2024 is a year of the sun, a year of solar energy, of solar dragon, of golden. Golden is solar, solar is golden is solar. Goriyanaya, Yasha, that our sun and our great central sun are golden. It's not like that in everywhere, in every universe. It's a particular frequency we chose when we, the creators, created this universe and these galaxies with the many suns in each galaxy and in each solar system, right? Each solar system has a mini sun. Then each galaxy has its central sun. My little starseed always says he's from Betelgeuse. Very strong connections to Betelgeuse. Garikinai, which is a giant star, giant sun. Gorokuyara kiniai kiti kanmoja zalayari. These beautiful golden dragons have the ability to flow in, around, and through your body if you allow. Ooh, so there you have it. That is an audio clip from our 12/12 portal group activation. Again, you can listen to the full 60-minute experience by clicking on the link below. Lots of great stuff in that little amount of time. It's amazing how we do time magic, how we do all kinds of grid work and all kinds of activation in that brief amount of time. That being said, again, I am, as always, sending you so much love, so grateful for your willingness to co-create, for your willingness to be here on the planet at this time as way showers and as grid workers. I cannot wait for what is to come. And just want to remind you as I close out that I am you and you are me and we are we. Until next time, my friends.